Right now, everyone in the crypto market has single idea. Are we going to go up or are we going to continue to the downside? Because right now, it's a carnage. You just look at this last 1 hour, $12 million has been liquidated. Then look at last 24 hours. It's like 1.2 billion being liquidated. So if you are in a leverage position, it's really going to hurt you. Because you don't really want to be in that space where your money is getting wiped out of the market, right? You want to stick with this market. You want to see what the market is about to do, right? This is the Bitcoin chart, and you may ask like, okay, what is important with this? If you look at the chart like this, you may not actually get what you really want to understand. So one of the basic steps is, okay, are we close to the top? Are we close to the bottom? Because we try to buy somewhere close to the bottom and sell somewhere close to the top, right? So in that idea, you just try to connect the bottom and you kind of see, okay, we are nowhere close to the bottom here in Bitcoin. I think most of us would have that consensus for this one, right? That's great. Why? We are somewhere close to the top. Yes, I agree with that point. But only issue for me is these highlighted here in the orange. These are the tops of each cycle which we had before. So back in 2011, then 2014, 2013, that range. Then you got 2017, 2018 here. So now, if me as a human being looking at this chart with basic cognitive ability, I'm like, okay, each time you had a blow off the top and then you went down. Each time you had the blow off the top, you went down. Each time you had the blow off the top, you went down. Now you can go to commodities market, look at gold, silver, or you can go to the stock market, look at the wide variety of assets which you have there, and go look at their cycle top. Now you get, for the majority of the assets, you get this one there. So I'm looking like, okay, are we really there? Are we really doing that top? Is it done for Bitcoin, right? That's the question. So when I'm looking at the accumulation range, reaccumulation range, it looks kind of similar. Now, one of the reason I'm saying this is you just look at, say, first cycle, you look at from the top to bottom, was like 5-6 months, done. You reach the bottom. Then the next one top here, say in the same range, 5 to 6 months, you actually dropped all the way from 1,200 towards 300. You need to look at the math there, right? From the 1,200 range, you drop to 300. Now here again at the top, this is like $20,000 top, and then you're putting this 5-6 months. So you come somewhere close there. This is your bottom. So from 20,000, you come all the way back down to below 6,000. So you understand what I'm saying, right? Now here we are. We have topped somewhere. If you consider like that, this 67,000 is the top. Then we have stayed here for around a year. If you consider this fluctuation too, yes, it's over a year, but from the top, close to the top, it's been a year you are staying here. So you can go back in the asset chart, price fluctuation, whatever you call. You look at this, you get accumulation, reaccumulation, ranging like this. Whether it is an accumulation happening, whether it is reaccumulation happening, that's the only area where you actually get to see like a year of fluctuation. In this cycle, we have seen 500 days of consolidation after the wave 1. So obviously we kind of get to see 300 days of consolidation after wave 2. That's okay, that's fine. For me, that's my understanding. But you don't have much of an upside from here, right? Even if you are dropping to retest the 30 and then bounce, maybe 90 to 100 is your top, right? You don't have too much upside. Great. But now, if you are not in Bitcoin and you're asking to yourself, okay, I'm not in Bitcoin, what does that mean to my altcoins? This is the altcoin chart for you. So if you are looking at this in a similar perspective, what do you understand here? What does the chart convey? It's so easy, basic. Just draw a couple of lines connecting the top and then the bottom. Then ask that question to yourself. Are you somewhere close to the top or are you somewhere close to the bottom? Say for me, I don't see that we are here, and I clearly see that we are close to the bottom. Like this, we are close to the bottom. So if we are close to the bottom, then you can, like, are we here, and then are we going to have wave 1, wave 2? No, we have done the wave 1, so it should be wave 2 and then wave 3, where you are going to get that blow off the top. Now if you remember, we just talked about the blow off the top in Bitcoin, right? Now we come to the same stuff, zoom in a bit, look at the tops for altcoin market. You had a blow off the top here, you definitely had another blow off the top here, and now to compare with this, you can again go look at what it did in next 5 months after the top. You come somewhere here, say close to here, and you dropped significantly. So if you are looking at that in that idea, you definitely understand that we did not revisit the top, and we reached the bottom and stayed at that bottom for long enough. 77% drop. So now you go to the current top and then see where we are now. It's 50% drop. You go test the wick bottom, that's 80%, but you're not staying close to the bottom, you're still staying close to the top. So now if you are looking at that, one basic question you answer yourself is, okay, fine, I understand that perspective. That means we are in the consolidation of wave 2. Look at the RSI at that time, because when we see this drop in RSI, we get a huge question within ourselves, like, okay, RSI is dropping, what does that mean? We had that back in the history where we were actually dropping hard, right? We were really dropping hard from this particular consolidation period and then going all the way down. So that down period, I personally would actually refer it to the accumulation and the capitulation before that. And you got that capitulation here. Now we need to actually see where we bottom, because that is going to be one of the hardest part to understand, because no one actually understands it, right? So now, what does that all mean for XRP? If you're looking at XRP on a similar perspective, where you're more or less looking at it in a way that, okay, fine, I understand that the market is bottoming. Great. So now, here we are with the XRP. Yeah, I forgot to welcome you guys to this channel, right? But you all are here for the great content, and I thought the content is the king, right? You need information which can help you make a proper decision. So again, welcome to the Scientific Investor channel, guys. Now here, without wasting time, you look at the XRP and you're like, okay, fine, these were the top, fine, and you can clearly see a bottom here. Only difference which I observe here is, like, last time you hit that bottom, you went up, fine. This time you're staying close to that bottom as of now, and you are correcting down. So when you are correcting down, if it's me personally, I'm like, okay, what are we actually doing? In the indicators, you are getting that, okay, we are trending down, we are trending down, we are trending down. Now we are not getting a divergence there. I agree. Say if you are going to XRP BTC pair, you are definitely getting a divergence. Look at the price. It is staying close to this area, whereas the RSI is moving to the upside. The MACD is moving to the upside. So you are clearly getting that divergence there. But when you are coming to the price of USD for XRP, you're not actually getting that stuff here. Yes, we all want that, but right now you had a support, you're breaking through that support. What can be the possible next one support that you can wait and watch? That's this area, which is like 30. Right now we are somewhere close to 35, so we don't have too much room to the downside in the RSI. So you don't have that much strength. Now, okay, fine, that's macro view. What if I'm not actually looking for the macro view and I'm looking for the current scenario? Then you're more or less likely to go and look at the daily chart, say at least on a medium time frame from last year till this point, and then you're looking at this picture. Now, you had this top, you went all the way to the upside, then you came back down. Now you're looking at this, fine. You had the drop, you had the accumulation range, the double bottom. Now we went up, now you are coming back down. But at this point, we have already wicked lower to 0.55, 0.56. It may vary based on your exchange, but now at 0.6. So when you come back to the cryptocurrency space and look at how the last 24 hours has been, there are some which are bouncing 5%, 10%, 20%, 30%, like that. But consider this as dead cat bounce, not the actual reversal right here, right now, because we don't yet see that one. To get that trend, you need to actually go on to a 4-hour chart, depending upon your trading style. But basic idea is this: say you clear all of this to give you that clarity. You're looking at this, okay, you dropped, then you consolidated here, fine, you broke a bow. That was actually a good thing to do. But if you are observing the medium term pattern, this is where you are right now, some way close to that. But you actually broke and came back below. You went higher to test that one. Now you're staying below that. So on a trend and pattern basis, you are looking for this. You need to actually fluctuate here and get through this. Otherwise, you are going to get rejected and we are going to go towards that 0.5. But if we are able to do this, that's actually better. Now, when you come back to that daily area, this is what you can easily observe there. Fine. This is something really critical. We are all observing. We are following this trend. We are breaking this one. Fine. On a daily, this is the situation. Whereas if you go on a macro, you are like, okay, fine. But if you're staying with this, you're like, okay, fine. With this one, we are breaking through this. Last time with SEC, we had this issue. And while we were doing that, the RSI was here. Whereas right now, the RSI is somewhere close to that of the 2020 March. March 2020 has been panic, pain, you call whatever the worst names for the market, all of them went in for it. And that is where we are right now in the RSI structure. But then you come to look at the MACD to understand the same, and you're like, okay, fine, we are some way sticking there. We're not below this bottom. So what does it mean? So you are getting a divergence in the MACD, but not in the RSI. Say what you should be looking at if you are going for a trade on medium term, long term, is say one of these, say RSI is still holding the support here. You're just close to that level. Then you're moving in this pattern. You are near that support. You are near that moving average. You're sticking there. Fine. So these are some stuff which you can regularly look at in the market. Say you go on a 3-day chart. You look at the moving averages. You are seeing like, okay, death cross coming on 3-day chart. Usually whenever you get a bullish cross, you come back down. Whenever you get a death cross, you go back up. So, we are going to get a bounce and we are going to retest that range. So, if you enter trade at 0.7, 0.8, $1 mark, you are going to get a relief rally where we are going to test those. Right? First, we need to actually look at this range, which would definitely act as a resistance. Then the higher one here. So, this range is so important for us to go back up. We need to actually reverse and get into that space, because on a weekly structure, if you are looking at this pattern, yes, we do see that we are standing higher compared to where we were in the bear market, but comparing many other assets, we are not still there. We have a lot of room to the upside, but we need to get the confirmation that the market is going to trend higher. That's why we are looking at the altcoin market and we want this to rally. Because we've talked about this. Right now the market is at this place and you still see a lot of different stuff. Say I was tweeting this one out. When I was tweeting this one out, I just wanted to deliver this clarity for you guys. Say when I'm looking at this, say personally, like, okay, this is the all-time high of 2014. We retested that. This was the pattern. Then you broke high, you went up, we re-accumulated and then went up. So that was the blow off the top. Fine. So if I'm looking at this right now as a pattern perspective in that trend, I don't actually see like this is a blow off the top. What I see is this is either real reaccumulation or the wave 2 reaccumulation. But the chances are so high that we are testing the all-time highs in the both place, that we are here and we have wave 2 and wave 3 to go. So if I'm not wrong, I think we have a long way to go up in this cycle. Now, yes, SEC is putting all those issues. They definitely feel like they are so desperate, and reading the comment from David is really interesting, because it's such a guy who is coming out and who has to actually put that in these words here. And when we are looking at the macro perspective, we do understand that this space is going to grow. A lot of different governments are going to dedicate their 5-year, 10-year plan on this one. So it is not going to change. So if you are in the space to make money, yes, there is extreme fear in this market. But if you understand the macro, you are going to stick here and make money. So guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want further information for a lot of different assets in your portfolio, you can definitely look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below, where you kind of get to see all of these charts on a regular basis to understand what the market is doing for different assets, whether it's near the support, whether it's already below the support, whether it's bouncing from the support. Because if we are going back to see these green numbers continuously for a week or more, then you're getting a reversal. You need to know where you should be. You need to know whether you should be rebalancing your portfolio, right? So for that, these charts definitely may help you. So guys, I'll meet you on the next video. Bye for now.